Thank you for joining us tonight. You're now with me, Shalshamana Tor for TVS Nightline. Let's begin with the headlining stories. Leadership is a learned behavior that becomes unconscious and automatic over time. This is seen in Chief Minister Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapang, who has been busy with matters pertaining to the Sarawak rights even on his first day back in office. He said that fighting for the cause does not necessarily translate to secede the Federation of Malaysia, but rather ensuring the written agreement are fulfilled.
He remarked that the amended clauses of the Federal Constitution to better reflect MA63 has contributed to GPS landslide victory in the just concluded 12th state election on Saturday.
Ini saya rasa fundamental yang telah memberi kemenangan kepada rakan-rakan saya dalam GPS, dan juga yang penting adalah integriti kami dalam deliver apa telah dijanjikan. When PH government wanted to amend our constitution just based on perkara 1/2, we did not agree. We want the substantive amendment, that is the content of the constitution that should embrace what have been signed in this agreement together with its annexure, that is the IGC.
Similarly, Abang Johari said that in order for state governments' projects or policies to be implemented quickly, all ways of doing things should be revamped for efficiency. Thus, he hopes the state civil service to take heed in order for the state to achieve developed state status by 2030.
Chief Minister Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapang did not expect Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS to win 76 out of 82 seats during the 12th Sarawak election. Abang Johari noted that this shows that political stability is vital for the state to continue developing.
Saya juga faham bahawa kerangkuman dasar yang melibat semua kaum, semua agama hendaklah dititik beratkan. Rakyat juga faham bahawa Sarawak mempunyai kedudukan yang tersendiri mengikut Perjanjian Malaysia 63 yang telah diluluskan oleh Parlimen.
Abang Johari says this is the fundamental reason that contributes to GPS landslide victory at the state poll. He also said that Malaysia had seen 3 prime ministers for the last 3 years.
Fortunately, what happened during the past 3 years does not reflect what the people expect. And the direct foreign investment is also affected, and our reputation is also affected. Thank God, after the win by GPS, I noticed a lot of analysts mentioning that the signal is Malaysia wants a stable government.
He said this during a reception ceremony for his first time entering the office at Wisma Bapak Malaysia today. Within the next 5 years, Abang Johari hopes procedures on project implementation can be revamped to assist Sarawak to achieve the status of a developed state by 2030. He, who is also Gedong Assemblyman, was surprised that native customary rights NCR over land was not a dominant issue during the election.
The Sarawak government is considering asserting its state's rights to have a representative in the Inland Revenue Board, IRB, in order to get accurate revenue numbers on the nation's revenue. Chief Minister Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapang stated that the Intergovernment Committee, or IGC, which was established to finalise the Malaysia Agreement 1963, stated in paragraph 24 of its report that Sarawak and Sabah must be represented in the board.
In IGC, paragraph 24, Sarawak and Sabah must be represented in Inland Revenue Board. It is mandatory, and we have never been represented in Inland Revenue Board. Just an example, Kalau kita ada wakil, jadi kita tahu berapakah pendapatan seluruh negara. Dan apabila you dah tahu pendapatan seluruh negara, then you can ask for a reasonable amount as a grant under Article 112D. Kalau kita tahu dari Sarawak berapa revenue, that means at least 20% of the revenue or 30% must be given back to the state.
Abang Johari, who led Gabungan Parti Sarawak to victory in the just concluded 12th state election, said this when speaking at a ceremony to welcome him at his office on his first day of work after being sworn in as the Chief Minister on Saturday. According to him, the IRB representation would be discussed in detail with his cabinet members, which will be revealed soon.
The Sarawak Deputy Chief Minister post is rumoured to be returned to Sarawak United People's Party SUPP through its party president Dr. Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian as a recognition of SUPP's impressive performance in the just concluded Sarawak polls. Having won 13 out of the 18 seats it contested, SUPP has proven it is a force to be reckoned with.
SUPP has won the second highest number of seats under the ruling coalition Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS in the recent Sarawak polls on Saturday. The party has also won 5 Chinese majority seats, namely Kota Sentosa, Palawan, Bukit Asik, Tanjong Batu and Pujut, and thus reflecting on the party's leadership in securing a greater Chinese involvement in politics and government. As such, the appointment would see Dr. Sim following in his father's footsteps, who is a former State Deputy Chief Minister, the late Tan Sri Dato' Amar Sim Keng Hong, who was also former SUPP President. The position for the Deputy Chief Minister in the Sarawak State Cabinet is left vacant following the passing of Tan Sri Dato' Amar James Jamut Masing on October 31st this year. GPS has seen a marked improvement in its performance through its debut, securing an additional 4 seats as compared to 72 seats won in the 11th Sarawak state election in 2016, in which the coalition was part of BN at the time.
On to the next update. A pilot project will be implemented in Lorong Tiong Hua by Sibu Municipal Council MPS to overcome the frequent flooding problem in the area. The project is set to improve the surrounding drainage system that had caused frequent flood from the spillover from the current drainage.
Standing Committee for Building Control and Urban Beauty Chairman, who is also the Bukit Asik Assemblyman, Joseph Cheng Jin Ek. The project has already been planned by the council.
So we use it as the pilot project for this. If we can get it succeed, right? So maybe we'll be able to implement in other areas, which been causing a lot of troubles to our rakyat in this constituency. So it might not be able to solve the problem in one go, but at least we can reduce the damage being done, by the flash flood.
He added that an efficient drainage system will be built on both sides of the road with a width of 2.4 meters.
We need to have the moderate size of the drain, right? If we still build a small one, it doesn't serve the purpose, So with this, hopefully that we'll be able, and with this, then we can connect all the smaller drain inside here. Because now, actually, if you can see here, a lot of, it didn't serve the purpose. Some of the drain inside here already collapsed, right? So basically, it's already become a blockage, actually, the blockage on the drain. So that's why we need to rebuild this, and we took it as the pilot project for this.
However, Joseph Cheng said the pilot project, which is still in planning stage, would take 6 months to complete, and hopes that the locals would render their full cooperation to the authorities to ensure smooth implementation.
The Ministry of Urban Development and Natural Resources remain a key player to ensure Sarawak achieves a high-income state status by 2030. Former Minister of Urban Development and Natural Resources, Dr. Amir Ali Maiden, expressed his appreciation to the ministry staff for their commitment and hard work given throughout his 30 years of service in the ministry.
Mencapai banyak kejayaan. Apa yang dibentang oleh yang berbahagia Datuk Jaidi itu adalah sebahagian daripadanya. Dalam usaha kita untuk mencapai post-COVID-19 development strategy pada year 2030, kementerian ini dipertanggungjawabkan dengan tanggungjawab yang agak berat juga untuk memacu pembangunan kita dan seterusnya untuk menambah pendapatan negeri kita. Dan ini adalah sesuatu yang penting untuk kita dapat melaksanakan projek-projek pembangunan dan meningkatkan kesejahteraan hidup rakyat kita.
Awang Tengah, who is the Bukit Sari Assemblyman, made the statement at the Ministry of Urban Development and Natural Resources Excellent Service Award ceremony on Monday, 20th December. He added that among the ministry's achievement is the Urban Renewal Project under 12 Malaysia Plan, where 14 projects totaling up to 4 billion ringgit was implemented throughout Sarawak. Besides that, the ministry has also implemented the Forest Plantation Program, where 47 licenses have been issued, covering an area of 2,137,000 hectares of land.
Sarawakans have been told to get their booster shots administered latest by February next year or risk their fully vaccinated status and a waiver of their privileges enjoyed previously. This applies to everyone regardless of the vaccine brands they were administered before.
Sarawak Disaster Management Committee said the latest directive was in line with the decision made by the National COVID-19 Immunization Task Force booster during a meeting on December 8. The booster shots will be administered at designated PPVs, General Practitioner PPV and Private Hospital PPV with free of charge. Individuals who are eligible to receive their booster shots will receive the date of their appointment and designated health facility through the MySejahtera app.
Welcome back to the Nightline. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob did not deny weaknesses in the flood management, especially in Selangor, but assured that it will be improved from time to time. He said responsibility of managing flood disaster is not that of the federal government alone, as the state governments and relevant authorities also play an important role.
Met after visiting the flood victims, the Prime Minister said that everyone must be held accountable in flood situations. However, he said the flood that occurred in Selangor was unexpected, unlike states like Terengganu, Kelantan and Pahang, which is an occurring phenomenon during this time of the year. He added there are rules for opening a disaster operations centre and standard operating procedures that had to be followed, whereby an operations room is required to be opened when a house is affected.
On the other hand, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob has advised residents in areas hit by floods to evacuate if directed to do so by the authorities.
He said an evacuation order was issued on the safety factor, as the authorities could foresee possible danger based on weather forecasts. He also said that to avoid untoward incidents, states which were not so used to handling floods should make the necessary preparations as soon as the meteorological department issued bad weather forecasts, as the situation was different in states hit by floods every year, where they would make early preparations, including identifying and providing flood relief center. The preparations should include cleaning works on drainage systems to help reduce the damage caused by floods.
And now on to the next development. The retail price for oximeters will remain as is, as there is no plan to set the ceiling price at the moment. Minister for Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, KPD and HEP, Dr. Sri Alexander Nandaligi said this would encourage retailers and manufacturers to compete to offer lower prices to consumers.
A number of brands have been approved for sale in the market.
Sama juga kita biarkan ada persaingan. Sebab kita nampak kalau ada persaingan, dia akan tersendiri ada tekanan kepada harga dia turun, ya. Jadi kita berharaplah pengguna buat pilihan yang bijaklah. Kalau kedai itu dia jual mahal, tengoklah kedai lain. Dan juga kita ada aplikasi price catcher. Jadi kita boleh cek kat sana lah.
Similarly, he called upon consumers to use the Price Catcher mobile app to make price comparisons between stores.
Now rise to the occasion, a showcase of 20 types of dishes based on rice as one of the efforts to promote Sarawak to the eyes of the world. At the same time, the program organized by Sarawak Tourism Federation, STF, also celebrates the features of rice from many tribes in Sarawak. According to its Chief Operating Officer, Franklin Simon, the program, which was held at the Old Courthouse in Kuching earlier today, centralizes on rice made by the various ethnic groups in Sarawak.
So we are celebrating rice and also remembering that we have a lot of multi-ethnic groups in Sarawak. So we are featuring the rice from the various tribes in Sarawak, the Malanaus, the Dayaks, the Melayus, the Chinese, and even the Indians. So you can see we are featuring, like, there's a lot of rice here, like even like nasi pulut, you know, like ketupat, like even like apom, kueh apom, and then like the peyek, and much more, as you can see here.
During the same event, a total of 140 food packs were distributed to the B40 family groups in Kuching, in line with efforts with Sarawak Tourism Federation and Life Heritage Kitchen.
And in line with this, also in the spirit of love and giving, we are actually giving away these three things, in fact. First, the goodies packs and wellness pack, and also food packs based on the rice, the occasion of based on our rice theme. We're giving it away to about 140 needies or underprivileged families in Kuching. So we want to share in this. Although we cannot celebrate Christmas in public, but we still want to share in the spirit of love and giving.
The program was also in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, as well as the Sarawak Tourism Board. Maiden Mohammed Holdings Berhad Managing Director Dr. Amir Ali Maiden today forgave the looters who broke into the supermarket chain store in Shah Alam during the recent floods, adding that while he does not condone the behavior, they were probably in a desperate situation and resorted to such action to survive.
In a statement, Amir said he is deeply touched and sympathized with those affected by the floods, especially when the country is still struggling with the COVID-19 outbreak. He added the floods on December 18 had caused losses of millions of ringgit to the company. In addition to Maiden's store, a few other marts had been looted by residents wading through floodwaters at Taman Sri Muda between 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Monday.
A trailer driver was today charged with 10 counts of dangerous driving, which resulted in the death of 10 individuals in a tragic accident last Friday night. Muhammad Rafi Jafar, 37, pleaded not guilty to the charge read out to him at the Shah Alam Magistrates Court. Rafi was accused of reckless or dangerous driving in causing the crash, which involved 3 cars on a highway near Subang Jaya.
Last Friday's incident was involving a man, a woman and 8 children, comprising 5 boys and 3 girls. He was charged under Section 41(1) of the Road Transport Act 1987, which carries a jail term of up to 10 years and a fine not exceeding 50,000 ringgit if convicted. The prosecution had asked for bail of 5,000 ringgit for every charge, bringing it to a total of 50,000 ringgit. However, after Rafi appealed to lower the bail on the grounds that his wife was not working and that they had a sick child, the court reduced it to a total of 10,000 ringgit, with additional condition that his driving license is suspended immediately. The magistrate fixed January 27, 2022 for the case to be mentioned.
A single mother was fined 10,000 ringgit by Sessions Court in Kuala Lumpur today for 2 counts, making and initiating offensive and malicious posts against former Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Abdullah Al-Mustafa Billah Shah in the Malaysia Flip-Flop blog.
Sessions Court meted out that the sentence on Lai Yet Ming, 65, after she pleaded guilty to both charges on December 6. The court then adjourned the sentencing to Tuesday, December 21st. The first charge is on June 9th last year, where Lai was accused of consciously making and initiating offensive and malicious communications against Muhyiddin. The offence committed under Section 233(1)(a) of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. For the second charge, she was accused of consciously making statements against His Majesty on the blog on March 21st with the intention of causing fear or panic to the public. The offence committed under Section 505B of the Penal Code, which carries a maximum jail sentence of 2 years, a fine or both if convicted. Lai had claimed trial and was released on a 4,000 ringgit bail.
Thank you for staying with me. And now on to our world affairs. The death toll from Typhoon Rai that lashed the Philippines last week has climbed to 375, a police report said on Monday, adding that 56 more remain missing, while 500 others were left injured. The report said the fatalities caused by the most destructive typhoon to hit the Southeast Asian country this year occurred in central Visayas and the Caraga region on the northeastern Mindanao Island.
Bohol, one of the hardest hit areas in the central Philippines by Typhoon Rai, confirmed 94 deaths on Monday. According to Bohol Governor Arthur Yap, and at least 18 more are still missing. The typhoon still poses a serious threat to the normal lives of the people in the affected areas.
Junior, and I am calling the national government, the local government to please make all efforts faster as soon as possible. Siargao is badly hit and the people need your help. We are lacking out of foods, we lack water, and the gasoline prices getting high. Some of the markets are hoarding waters, and there are so many local tourists stranded that wanted to go out to their provinces, go back to their provinces.
The country's disaster response agency said the typhoon has affected close to 1 million people and displaced 442,424 residents. It said the initial estimate of damage to agriculture is $2.4 million as well as $4.5 million to infrastructure. On Thursday afternoon, the typhoon first slammed into Siargao Island off the eastern coast of Mindanao Island in the southern Philippines. Rai lashed the Philippines for 3 days, causing floods and landslides and leaving a trail of destruction in the central and southern Philippines regions, including some areas on the main Luzon Island.
Let's wrap up the Nightline with this feature. Santa Claus delivered some unusual holiday cheer in Rio de Janeiro on Monday, December 20, by feeding the sharks and swimming with stingrays at the city's aquarium. Santa, who wore his familiar red suit during his scuba dive, was joined by Miss Claus and other Christmas characters. Visitors gathered around the displays while divers fed sharks, stingrays, and 2,000 other fish species.
Emocionante para os dois lados, né? Pra gente, não sei se é tão quanto eles, né? Que para eles ali eles estão vendo o Papai Noel descer. Então é uma alegria que eu não consigo nem descrever. E a gente fica muito feliz em estar passando isso para as crianças e ver a alegria delas como resposta para o trabalho da gente.
Aquario visitors can watch aquarium staff dressed as Santa Claus and Miss Claus dive daily until December 25th.
Eu gostei mais desse tanque aqui, porque dá pra ver tudo que a gente olha, parece que a gente está no fundo do mar, que tudo que a gente olha parece que nós estamos dentro desse tanque, porque é muito legal. Eu fico imaginando como é que criaram isso aqui.
And that feature concludes TVS Nightline for tonight. And as always, thank you for tuning in to your local news tonight. Here with me, Shosha Mato, and I'll see you next time. Have a good morning.